Welcome to the World Wire Update. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for more updates and thrilling short scenes. October 2025. The City of London awoke to a crisp, golden morning, its historic streets bustling with anticipation and uncertainty. London's autumn air buzzed with anticipation as Donald Trump, newly re-elected and more unpredictable than ever, touched down for a high-stakes state visit. The world watched as his motorcade snaked through the city, drawing crowds and cameras at every turn. The invitation from King Charles, delivered personally by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, was more than a gesture of diplomacy. It was Britain's boldest move yet to secure a crucial post-Brexit trade deal with the US, hoping to anchor its future outside the EU. The UK hoped royal pageantry, the gleaming carriages, the marching guards, the centuries-old traditions, would charm Trump and reaffirm the so-called special relationship between the two nations, projecting unity to the world. But beneath the pomp, tensions simmered. Trump's aggressive rhetoric, especially his recent talk of annexing Canada, had already rattled America's closest allies and sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles. Canada, feeling betrayed by Britain's warm welcome to Trump, watched with growing unease. The move strained Commonwealth ties, leaving many Canadians questioning the UK's loyalty and judgment. As Air Force One landed, expectations and resentments ran high. Protesters gathered at the airport, their signs a stark reminder of the controversy, while the world's press speculated on whether Starmer's diplomatic gamble would pay off or backfire spectacularly. Yet the week's drama wouldn't just revolve around Trump. As dignitaries and rivals arrived, whispers spread that another world leader was poised to steal the spotlight and shift the balance of power. The stage was set for a diplomatic showdown, one that would test old alliances, forge new ones, and ultimately reshape the global order in ways no one could have predicted. London became the arena for two North American leaders with clashing visions. Trump's return signaled a brash America First agenda, challenging alliances and stoking controversy with talk of Canadian annexation. In contrast, Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, embodied calm, cooperation, and a rejection of populist politics. King Charles, as monarch of both the UK and Canada, faced a delicate balancing act, courting Trump for trade while reassuring Canada of its sovereignty. Trump expected to be the center of attention, but Carney arrived for a summit of progressive leaders, ready to offer a compelling alternative. London was about to witness a battle of ideas, not armies, with the world watching. The outcome would be decided in the court of public opinion. While Trump basked in royal ceremony, Carney took center stage at the Global Progress Action Summit. The summit, a gathering of center-left leaders, was a direct counterpoint to Trump's visit. Its timing, no accident. Carney, fresh from an election victory over right-wing populism, became the summit's star, sharing a hopeful, practical vision for global cooperation. His presence was a quiet act of defiance, drawing world leaders eager for a new playbook. News coverage split. Trump surrounded by protest and spectacle. Carney engaged in serious debate and alliance building. The contrast was stark. One leader isolated by bluster, the other earning respect through substance. The summit's narrative quickly eclipsed the state visit. London's attention shifted from pageantry to policy. The world was captivated by Carney's message. The week's turning point came with two speeches that would set the tone for the days ahead, capturing the attention of both the public and the press. First, Donald Trump took the stage before a crowd of British business leaders. His address was combative and brimming with grievances, as he criticized long-standing allies and boasted about his own past achievements. Instead of offering a vision for the future, Trump seemed intent on reliving old battles and airing familiar complaints, his tone more confrontational than conciliatory. The speech, which many had hoped would build bridges and foster cooperation, instead deepened existing divides. The audience, expecting inspiration or reassurance, was left cold and unimpressed, with many business leaders quietly expressing their disappointment as they departed. The following day, Mark Carney took the spotlight at the summit. His keynote was everything Trump's was not: eloquent, optimistic, and forward-looking. Carney spoke passionately about global challenges, framing them as shared opportunities rather than threats, and called for unity and collaboration. Nostalgia is not a strategy, Carney declared, delivering a pointed rebuke to Trump's backward-looking rhetoric. His words resonated with the crowd, who responded with enthusiastic applause and a renewed sense of purpose. Business leaders and media figures quickly hailed Carney as the true statesman of the event. In contrast, Trump's address was widely panned as a missed opportunity, a moment that could have united, but instead divided. Headlines the next morning crowned Carney the real leader in the room, cementing his reputation as a unifying force in a time of uncertainty. The contrast between the two men was undeniable. While Carney built bridges and fostered dialogue, Trump seemed to burn them, leaving himself increasingly isolated. In London's high-stakes battle of ideas, it was Carney who delivered the knockout blow, emerging as the clear victor in both substance and style. Social media erupted. Carney Outshines Trump trended worldwide as clips of Carney's speech went viral. People everywhere, from bustling city squares to quiet suburban parks, were glued to their screens, sharing and commenting in real time. The internet became a stage for a global conversation, with users dissecting every moment and meme. Memes and headlines painted Carney as the thoughtful leader, Trump as the out-of-touch showman. Editorials praised Carney's poise and vision, while late-night hosts and cartoonists lampooned Trump's missteps. The contrast was impossible to ignore, and the public narrative quickly shifted. The narrative shifted. This was no longer about trade, but about Trump's public humiliation. News outlets replayed the most awkward moments, and commentators debated the long-term impact on international relations. The world watched as the story unfolded, captivated by the spectacle. Media coverage highlighted Carney's achievements, including a new Canada-UK green investment partnership, and his ability to unite leaders around a common cause. Analysts noted how Carney's calm approach inspired confidence, setting a new standard for diplomatic leadership. Meanwhile, Trump's visit produced only awkward moments. His attempts to regain control fell flat, and his entourage struggled to manage the fallout. The contrast between the two leaders became a talking point across continents. Even King Charles weighed in, subtly signaling support for Canada, wearing Canadian medals and making sure the cameras caught every detail. His gestures were deliberate, sending a message without uttering a word. He referenced his role as King of Canada, reminding everyone of the deep ties between the two nations. The symbolism was powerful, resonating with both Canadians and the international community. And in a moment rich with meaning, King Charles planted a maple tree at Windsor, a living tribute to Canada's enduring place in the Commonwealth. These gestures spoke volumes, offering solidarity to Canada without open confrontation. The public responded with enthusiasm, seeing the monarchy as a steadying force amid political drama. The Crown's quiet endorsement combined with public sentiment sealed Trump's fate. The unity between the people and the monarchy was unmistakable, and the message was clear. Trump was outshone not just by Carney, but by the dignity of the monarchy itself. The world took notice, and the balance of influence shifted before everyone's eyes. The week belonged to Canada, whose leadership and spirit captured the world's attention and admiration. For Prime Minister Starmer, the week was a diplomatic balancing act. He needed a U.S. trade deal, but Trump's divisiveness made the visit politically toxic. Simultaneously, Starmer co-hosted the summit with Carney, aligning himself with progressive values and international cooperation. As Carney's popularity soared, Starmer subtly shifted, embracing the Canadian leader and echoing his themes. The UK's attempt to play both sides left it caught in the middle, hosting Trump, but inspired by Carney. King Charles's symbolic gestures reinforced Canada's sovereignty, further complicating Starmer's position. The state visit, meant to project British strength, instead exposed its diplomatic vulnerabilities. London's spirit was with Carney, not Trump. Trump, humiliated, cut his visit short. No trade breakthrough, just negative headlines. The special relationship was left strained, Britain's gamble on Trump having backfired. Starmer faced criticism for both inviting Trump and failing to manage the fallout. Canada, meanwhile, emerged triumphant. Carney returned home a global star, his progressive vision validated. King Charles's support further boosted Canada's standing. The week marked a turning point. Trump's America First approach was exposed, and collective, values-based leadership took center stage. The US nursed a bruised ego, the UK reconsidered its strategy, and Canada stepped confidently into the global spotlight. In 2025, true leadership was measured not by spectacle, but by substance and vision.